Hello Year 8 and welcome to Lesson 9 in our current topic, which is information validity, reliability and bias. Today we are going to work out the results and create some graphs based around the survey that you created last lesson. When you open up Numbers to make your graph, we're going to start by selecting the blank option to create a new table. Okay, and this table is actually a little bit more complicated than we need, so what I'm actually going to do is select table from the side menu. I'm just going to press backspace to delete it. I can then insert a new table by clicking on the tables button at the top, and I'm going to choose a basic table like that. You can then put the data in. So I'm just going to start with my headers, yes and no, because my question was, do you think fox hunting is cruel? So there are only two possible answers. And then I'm going to write in my data. So 8 people said yes and 3 people said no. Once you've got data in the table, making the graph is pretty easy. You start off by making sure that you've got all your data selected. Now to do this, it's always a good idea to make sure that you click on one of the empty cells in the center of it, and then you can click and drag all the headings and the data. We then click on the charts button at the top of the screen and decide which type of chart we want. I'm going to go for a 3D bar chart. Once the graph appears, there are several things that you might wish to do. First of all, we want to give it a better title than chart 1. So I'm going to double click on the title and I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to enter the question. So, do you think that fox hunting is cruel? Another thing that you might want to do is to get rid of the key at the bottom of the graph. At the minute it says Untitled 1 and doesn't really give us any information. So to do that, I'm going to click on the key. I'm going to press backspace to delete it. You'll also find when you are creating your graph that the inspector opens up. And there are 3 options: chart, axis and series. And it's a good idea to have a look through those menus because you can do a lot more things like change the colour of the bars if you wish. The last thing I want to do is to take the graph and put it into my presentation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the graph is selected. I'm going to go edit at the top and copy. I'm then going to open my presentation and make sure that I'm on the right slide. I'm going to go edit and paste. I can then move the graph and where I want it on the actual slide itself. I can also drag it out and make it a bit bigger so that it fits the slide a lot better. You can also use this 3D chart option to actually move your graph around and see how it changes and changes the look of it. Now that's going to be your task for today. So it's over to you. I'd like you to make a graph for your survey results that you did last lesson and put it into your presentation.